One second, still loading here.
Hey, Julius, how about I can take attendance for the call while that's loading?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to start off with North and Northwest Florida, understanding that a number of our colleagues may not be present today. I think Will from Escambia, I see that you're on the line. Brace. All right. Mary Matthews, Communities and Schools.
Bryce and Mary are
Uh-huh.
cannot be on the call today.
Okay. All right. Marion County Public Schools.
She has a superintendent's meeting this morning.
All right. Moving on to Southwest Florida. Southwest Florida Regional Planning Council. Crescent Clinic. Girl Scouts of West Central Florida. Feeding America Tampa Bay. Metropolitan Ministries. And Florida Dream Center. All right. If anyone is joining in late, please do write in the chat and let me know that you're here. City of Miami.
Here.
Excellent. Florida State University. All right. I see that Single Stop is on the line. Thank you, Samantha. United Way of Palm Beach County.
Yes, we're here.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Star of the Sea Foundation. David, I see that you're on for the Department of Children and Families. Thank you. City of Orlando. Collegiate Pathways. Orlando Community and Youth Trust. Keith, I see that you're on for the United Way of Brevard. Thank you. Children's Home Society of Florida. And the ARC Jacksonville. Oh, Charlotte, I see that you're on. Thank you. All right, that's the list.
Alrighty, thank you so much for taking attendance, Marianne. We're going to dive right on into this agenda for today. So to begin off, we're going to have introduced to you all who's who in the state office. I know that you all know that the state office has been understaffed for quite some time, but now we are full staff. So we're going to let you know who's all here now and let you know where we're serving and what we're focusing on. Then we're going to begin with our state program director's update. Then we're going to talk a little bit about our recruitment corner. And the new exciting thing that we have for you are some coming attractions. So in our strategic planning meeting, we decided that there are some standing agenda items that we can add to the agenda for the bi-monthly calls that are definitely relevant and useful for us. So those new things that we're going to be previewing to you all today on the agenda will be our peer-to-peer sharing opportunity, which is going to allow for you all as VISTA supervisors, if there's any methods or tips that you have when it comes to recruitment or managing your members, if you want to share any materials that you may have created for managing your VISTA project, this is the opportunity for you to do that with your peers right here on the call. Then next we have our new kids on the block. This year with Florida, we are really expecting to grow our portfolio and are definitely expecting a lot of new VISTA projects to be seen. So to ensure that we are all connecting with one another and we know who's who within our own VISTA network and our VISTA fold here within Florida, we're going to be having this section added as well. Next, project highlights. As well this year, we want to ensure that we're talking about all of the great work that our VISTA projects are doing this year. So we just want to, take some time out during the calls, since we're meeting bi-monthly, just to highlight some of the great things that are going on. And then refresh and restart. This seems to be the season of new. We have here in the office, there's new employees, myself and my fellow coworker Melissa. It's the start of a new fiscal year. It's also even a new VMO that we're going to be enrolling into. So since this is the season of new, we felt that this is the perfect time to just kind of do a refresh and restart over some compliance issues when it comes to managing VISTA projects. So that begins with first just reviewing the monitoring tool. Then after that, we're just going to give some reminders about the sponsor verification forms, future plans forms, and reporting changes and statuses for VISTA members. And then also, we have something very exciting to introduce to you all, which is the VISTA Sponsor Starter Kit. This was a resource that we previewed to you all in our last August bi-monthly call. And essentially, this is going to be a one-stop shop document or documents that a VISTA sponsor can use when it comes to onboarding members and just learning about the general things that are needed to run a VISTA project. So we're very excited to introduce that to you all today. We're going to be reviewing all the materials that are going to be included in those documents today. And if you would like to use them, just request it from your program officer as it is on our SharePoint page to share with you all as you need it. And then lastly, we have our Did You Know section that we're just going to be giving some general announcements about some things that are going on in Florida. All right, now I'm going to hand it over to my state program director, Billy Lewis, to let you know who's who.
Thank you, Julius. I want to make sure I'm coming through okay, so if you all can hear me, type an emoji in the chat box or say yay. I know there's a delay when using this. All right, awesome. So many of you may already know the team. I know some of you may not. We've had some new additions to the portfolio and including some changes in supervisors. So I just wanted to let you all know who's who in the state office. As you know, I am Billy Lewis. I am the state program director. And within my team, we have Alexia Lunningham, who covers the North Central and Northwest Florida region, Melissa Hartung, who covers the East Central and Northeast Florida region, Marianne Sherachinsky, who covers the South and Southeast Florida region, and then, of course, Julia Smiley, who covers the West Central and Southwest Florida region. So this is the Florida State Office team here to serve you. If you are within one of those regions and have not had an opportunity to talk with your program officer, please make sure you reach out and schedule some time so that they can learn a bit more about your organization and your project, and so that you can learn more about them as well. Move to the next slide, Julius. I think you have to click on that. There might be a delay in moving to the next slide. Technology.
Was there a PowerPoint?
While we're waiting, just want to remind everyone that all lines are open, so we can hear you if you are talking. So you can press *6 to mute your line. That will help in case you need to put the phone call on hold and we don't have to hear the lovely hold music. All right. Next slide. So this is just a physical representation of where everyone is and where they're located. In addition, Julius talked to you about a strategic planning meeting that we just recently completed, and some of you may already have been introduced to this as well, and where our program officers are not only regionally assigned, but they also have particular focus area specialties. So if you are a grantee who is in one of these particular focus areas, and you're looking to learn more about statistics or information or partners in that focus area, or you want to get into this focus area, this is an opportunity for some cross-pollination and for you to interact with other individuals within this office. Our goal is to not only have the program officers serve as regional experts throughout the state, but also focus area subject matter experts, and really keeping a pulse on what's happening, who's who in Florida as it relates to their particular focus area. area. So this is something we're pretty excited about. All right. You guys are probably seeing things quicker than I am. Our server's a little lagging today. So I definitely want to make sure that we talk about Hurricane Michael. I know that in Florida we are no stranger to hurricanes, but every time it happens, it feels like it's happening for the first time. Our number one priority is to ensure that you all, your national service members, the communities in which you serve, are safe. And so one of the things we always try to do in the wake of a hurricane, after a hurricane, is ensure the safety of our members so that we can support you in any way possible. Some of you are statewide programs who have members serving in these particular areas. Just want to make sure that we're checking in on them and seeing how they're faring and seeing if there's anything that they need in particular that we can possibly support you all with. We know a lot of our partners are not able to join the call today due to some power outages. And so that's something we'll be looking to get updates on, and then of course updating you all on as far as the how the National Service family is doing in those particular areas. So there are a few items that we always like to discuss whenever we have any form of natural disaster that happens within the state. As many of you know, your members are allowed emergency travel for those that had to evacuate or need to evacuate. They're also allotted emergency days, up to 5 emergency days, and more if needed, which you can talk with us at the state office for. So if that is the case for any of your members where they had to evacuate or will be evacuating due to damage to their home, please reach out to your program officer. We do have support. We do have resources. Another thing that is very commonplace, and we definitely support as well, in terms of VISTA members supporting initiatives or responding to a disaster, you'll want to make sure that you first contact the state office, reach out to your program officer to get permission. There are a few guidelines in terms of how VISTAs can support. This is based strictly off of VISTA guidance, so VISTA members cannot travel more than 50 miles to respond to a disaster. They cannot partake in disaster response activities for more than 30 days. And then work beyond 30 days requires an approved alteration of the member's VAD. VISTA members may not cross state lines to participate in a disaster response. There are exceptions to this rule. Those are for those VISTA members who their service site is near a state border. All cross-state border deployments, however, do require headquarter approval. And this isn't to create rules or barriers or whatnot to response, but number one, again, we want to ensure the safety of our members. We want to ensure that members are well resourced if they're going to be deployed, and we definitely want to keep track of what members are doing for reporting purposes. So if this is something you are interested in, your members are interested in, if you're near the catchment area, in the catchment area, please reach out to your program officer beforehand so that we can give you the resources that may be needed. We've also had some questions about, getting training and how individuals can possibly get involved. Volunteer Florida has been the point of contact for emergency management within the state of Florida, and they have training opportunities. So we want to make sure those resources are available to you, and we have a link out to you to their website if that is something you may be interested in. But again, safety is our number one priority, and we are looking forward to hearing more from the rest of our National Service family as to how they fared within this storm. Next slide, Julius. All right, while that's loading, because I know you all can see it, but I probably cannot, want to talk real quickly about the National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. So many of you know that the opioid crisis and the opioid epidemic is a high priority for not only our agency, but for the entire nation. I think the last time we talked about this, I shared a stat with you all in that in 2015, based on data from the CDC, Florida was number 4 in the death toll for overdoses as it relates to the opioid epidemic. I am very sorry to share with you all that as of 2016, which is the latest data that we have, Florida has climbed up to number 1 in the death toll as it relates to the opioid epidemic crisis. So we have the highest number of overdoses in the nation, not something that I am proud of at all. And we do have a space in this area, and we'll be talking more and more about this as we have these calls and as you all are moving forward with continuations and whatnot. But one opportunity for us to get engaged, low-hanging fruit, a really neat projects for your VISTA members to get involved with is the National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. So we know a part of the opioid epidemic crisis has to deal with what people have in their cabinets and who has access to it and how it's being disposed. So that day is Saturday, October 27th, 2018. The DEA has a ton of resources and information on how you can get involved. They have a site collection locator. They have PSAs, they have treatment information, there's partner toolboxes. So I really implore you all to take a look at that website, reach out to your local contacts, your local law enforcement contacts within your communities, and find out how you and your members can support that particular initiative. We really want everyone, this is an all hands on deck situation, and there are many ways that we can get involved. And being that Florida is now number 1 in the death toll within the nation, I think it would be remiss for us to not see what we can do. So that's low-hanging fruit. Check that out, and then let us know how you all plan to participate or how your members plan to participate. The next thing I want to talk to you all about is RSVP competition. Some of you on this call, shout out to Will, are also sponsors of retired senior volunteer programs. And pretty much that is the arm of our agency that engages individuals 55 and up in a variety of service activities and programming as it relates to our agency focus areas, as well as the community-based focus areas. A really awesome opportunity to engage and invigorate your 55 and up community. So we have several areas across the state that are up for competition. That particular deadline is November 7th, 2018. If you are interested in that, don't be late, be great. And for those of you who want to know what areas are up for competition, we do have a listing here, as well as the dollar amounts for those particular competitions. There are technical assistance calls that have been recorded, which you are more than welcome to go back to and listen to and learn more about RSVP and see if this is a source of funding that could fit your agency and help bolster what your agency is doing. We really want to make sure that we shore up Florida and that all of these particular areas have applications, whether they be incumbents or areas that are vacant, such as Seminole County, Indian River County, Volusia County, and Pasco County. Those 4 counties, we are very, very interested in making sure that we have applications because they are currently vacant. There is not an incumbent. So please feel free to reach out to your program officer if you want more information about that. They can direct you to the website where you'll find the full gamut of backstory behind this RSVP competition. All right. It's never too early to talk about MLK Day, and this is more so of a reminder that MLK Day is coming. And we want to know what you guys are going to be working on. So again, this is just a get thinking about this because we're not too far ahead. It's an opportunity for you to promote your projects. It's an opportunity for your members to create a pet project, a pet service project to engage the community in. And as you know, every year, for those of us who have been around for a while, it's something that we definitely track and it's something that we definitely help promote. So we want everyone to be thinking about what their projects are going to be doing, working with your members to decide what they might want to do to commemorate MLK Day and get the community going with service. All right. So we've talked a little bit about this, and I think we can't talk about it enough. I know many of you are gearing up to do your continuations. One thing I will share with you all is that this is a huge development year for the Florida State Office. We've had a slight increase in both standard and cost share resources. So if you've ever been thinking about how to grow or expand your project, now is the time to have that conversation with your program officer. Also, within your own community, if you have organizations that have been interested, whether they're partners on your advisory council, whether they're members of your board, definitely help us spread the word. We'll be releasing a request for VISTA concept papers shortly, more than likely before the end of this month. And these are just some of the issue areas that we're focused on. Again, I shared with you all before about the statistic in terms of the death toll in Florida as it relates to the opioid crisis. So substance abuse is definitely on the radar. For the portfolio and for development. We also have some neat new projects that we'll be talking a little bit more about next month that we want you all to get excited about, and we think it's going to really help support recruitment. But we just wanted to give you, again, another snapshot of where we are in terms of priorities for the state. All right. So everybody in this portfolio should be receiving emails requesting two pieces of very important information. Number one, the monthly projections. So monthly projections are critical for us because it allows us to plan for VISTA resources. Something I just said a moment ago was that our resources for the state have been increased slightly. And we have to be able to plan on how we're going to use those resources. You all are a huge part of that plan since you are existing projects within the portfolio. So ensuring that you're providing that data for your program officers is going to be critical in helping us meet the goals and the needs of Florida. It's an accountability tool for the projects as well because you all have an allocation. We expect you to meet that allocation. And furthermore, we expect that allocation to be met at the next available PSO or VMO in this case. So this is a way for us to track where you are recruitment-wise. And that's a great segue into promoting technical assistance opportunities. If we see there are recruitment challenges, letting us know where you are within your projections can help us to pinpoint, help solve, and resolve some of those recruitment challenges. And then, of course, it is required. Again, we have resources that have to be managed within this state. It's a body for you all, but it's federal dollars on our side. And so we can't do that without those projections and knowing and understanding where you all are and how we can help you to get to where you all are. So please make sure as you receive those emails from your program officers that you are responding accordingly. The other thing is monthly highlights. This is also pretty critical because it lets us know how you're doing, as we don't know until we receive those progress reports. It helps us assess responsiveness. When a project is too quiet, it might mean that something is wrong. So this is a way for us to have some effective communication at a minimum on a monthly basis. It helps us promote you. We use the data and the information that you send to us to go right to headquarters and to Congress. So we want to help you tell your story. And then, of course, it helps us justify national service. At the end of the day, these programs are funded by federal dollars, which are funded by Congress. So if we don't have good news to share, how can we justify national service, the existence of national service, and the impact of national service? And this is why we need to know information about what you all are doing, the exciting things that you're doing, so that we can help you tell your story. The other thing I will say too is don't let this be something that's too difficult. Let your VISTA member tell their story. You all have the advantage in that your resource is actually a person who's doing the work. So let them tell that story on a monthly basis and allow the state office to filter out what we think is noteworthy or state office worthy. So get the monkey off your back, as some people like to say to me, and let the VISTA members tell that story for you. So that is all the updates that I have for you all today. I'm going to turn it back over to Julius, who has some more exciting information to talk about.
Okay, thank you so much for your updates, Billy. As Billy said, I'm just going to keep moving on with this. And with the exciting things to come, it is that time of the year again, people. The VISTA Progress Report Supplement is due on October 31st. For those who are unfamiliar with what this is just an annual supplement report to the progress report that you guys already submit. A little bit of the information that it covers is information that deals with essentially all the things that you guys are already doing as VISTA projects. So community volunteers, resource development, organizations and systems and beneficiaries. So all of those things I'm sure your VISTA projects are already doing because it's a part of the basis of the 4 pillars of VISTA, which is sustainability, capacity building, anti-poverty, and so with those things, you just want to ensure that you're able to capture that with this VISTA Progress Report supplement. That's what this report is for. To locate this report, if you're having trouble locating it, it is right here on your home page of eGrants. I have it circled here, Progress Report Supplements. That is where you go to insert in your information about that. We definitely want to ensure this year that we have 100% completion on this. This is a report that CNCS collects over all data for all AmeriCorps programs. So we just want to ensure that we're able to capture this data. Going back to what Billy was just saying, this helps us to further justify national service. Then next, previewing some of the new coming attractions we have for you guys, the new kids on the block. This will be a section where we're going to be introducing new projects that we have that are joining our project. Then the next coming attraction we have is our peer-to-peer sharing. Again, this is coming soon. I'm giving you all the opportunity to share any methods or tips with the group on these calls. Next, in our recruitment corner, you all should be recruiting right now. We have the deadlines here for VISTA recruitment and enrollment for the VMO that's coming up. As you see, we have VMO start dates for November 13th, 2018, December 3rd, 2018, and January 22nd, 2019. If you're looking to place members in the November 13th VMO that is coming up, the deadline is going to be October 19th, 2018. So be sure that you all are out there supporting and recruiting and doing the work you need to do to ensure we get these members. With recruiting, we want to let you all know that here at the state office, we are definitely going to be here supporting you. We're going to be posting listings to our social media page to let people who are involved and connected to us on social media to know about the positions that are available. We're going to be providing advice and sharing knowledge with you all on some of the recruitment strategies that you can be implementing or using. And we're also going to be providing assistance to you all just to help identify some possible partnerships that you can be engaging in that's going to help strengthen your recruitment. So we are here to support you when it comes to recruitment for these VISTA members. But we also still have expectations for you all as well. The first is meeting the allocation. So for every single VMO, we are expecting that for that VMO that's coming up, you are going to be fulfilling your member allocation for that VMO. So if you have a different plan or a different strategy for when you're recruiting or how your program operates, just ensure that you communicate that to your program officer, because we are always definitely looking to ensure that these spots are filled in the next upcoming VMO. So ensuring that you all meet your allocations, adhering to the deadlines. You know, we have some nice forms, and I know Alexia sends out a lot of reminders to you all, just ensuring that we're adhering to the deadlines to ensure we get the members enrolled and set up properly. That you all are out there actually actively recruiting. Of course, as you are granted these resources, we are definitely expecting you all to be trying to fulfill these resources and fill the spots with these members. And then lastly as well, you all can be identifying partnerships with other organizations or educational institutions to help develop your own pipeline for engaging some civilians in national service when it comes to the VISTA program. Then continuing on with our recruitment corner, just a few reminders. First of all, we have our virtual member orientation. So there's no longer going to be an in-person training PSO, pre-service orientation for VISTA members. So with the virtual member orientation, this is something that needs to be completed with the members on their first day of service at their site. Please do not forget to complete the VMO onboarding form, and also ensure that while you are recruiting the members that they accept the position in the portal before they can be submitted for state office review. All of these steps are very important because that helps us here as the program officers to ensure that we're able to enroll your VISTA member into the VMO on time, and we can't do that unless the member actually accepts the position in the portal. So please keep these reminders and things in the back of your mind when it comes to recruitment. Also, ensuring that members are disclosing both criminal history disclosure of charges and convictions. I know over the summer we had a couple of issues with that. So again, another reminder to remind VISTA members while you're recruiting them and interviewing them that they disclose these things and that these steps are all followed. Next, here with the VMO, candidates, as I said, they must participate in the VISTA webinar on their first day, and it is very important that they complete their signed oath form and send it off to the VISTA member support unit on their first day of service. This is very, very crucial and essential to be done, so ensure that we are completing this for our VISTA members and that this is something that we're getting done on the first day. Also, it may be some cases where applicants may need to submit additional paperwork just to verify their social security numbers or their citizenship status or things of that nature. That is all done and completed through the CNCS secure system. If that is going to be something that's needed or required of a member, you all will be receiving notification from us here at the state office to let you know about steps dealing with that. But we just want to give reminders about that when it comes to recruitment. And then next we have a project highlight. So the project that we're highlighting this month is Hernando Crescent Clinic VISTA project. As Billy was talking earlier about the opioid epidemic and substance abuse crisis that we're dealing with here in Florida, Hernando Crescent Clinic VISTA project has very much been hands-on and has grabbed the bull by the horns when it comes to handling this issue. They're celebrating their 1-year anniversary of their Tampa Opioid Research Network. This was a organization started by a VISTA member who was placed at Crescent Clinic along with some fellow students at the University of South Florida, and they have been doing a great job with engaging the Tampa area, with educating students, doing research about opioid awareness, and also providing resources to students on campus to help alleviate some of the issues that they may be dealing with when it comes to addiction. So there's some videos here that are provided. Shortly we're going to be sending out the PowerPoint and all of the links that are included to the PowerPoint with you after this call. So please definitely check that out and all the good work that they're doing because they have done a lot of good things. They've been featured in a lot of local newspapers and local news just talking about the great work that they've done. So they're making an impact and they are definitely doing great work. And as I said at the beginning of the call for the agenda, this is the season of new. So this is the time to refresh and to restart. So I love using analogies. And so when it comes to managing our VISTA projects, we can think of these VISTA projects as us building our house. And when it comes to building our house, we want to definitely ensure that we have a strong foundation. And to ensure that we have a strong foundation of our house when it comes to VISTA projects, that starts with our compliance monitoring site visits or the compliance monitoring tool. Hopefully you all have a copy of this. If you do not, please contact your program officer to request this, because this is a great tool that you all can use now as a pre-assessment to gauge all of the great work that you all are doing in your VISTA projects. This helps to ensure that you are handling member files accurately, that you are handling things accurately with your budget, and just really community participation, sustainability, recruitment, all of those things that helps to engage you so that you can see see and give yourself a peer assessment as to how you all are doing. This is a great tool to use for ensuring that your program is effective. So if you don't have it, reach out to your program officer so that you can use that to build up your foundation for your project. Next, just a quick reminder with refreshing and restarting. Changes in status, this is something that is very important. VISTA supervisors, please report any changes of statuses for VISTA members immediately within 24 hours to the CNCS state office. If they're leaving the project early, if they've been arrested, absence without leave, any medical leave or extended absences, please just let us know. And ensure that your sponsors have a strong process in place for ensuring that all members' status in service is actually accurate on the sponsor verification form. This form must be completed on time and it must be accurate. And VISTA supervisors, we want to ensure that if you're away at the time, that there is a backup available to ensure that this is being done. This is extremely important. And next, going on to the refresh and restart, we have resources that are already out there that we've provided to you all, such as the compliance monitoring tool, and then even our check-in calls and sending out reminders about the sponsor verification form and the future plans forms and things of that nature. But now we have something to give to you that kind of serves as a one-stop shop. This is the document that we previewed to you all on our last call in August, and this is our VISTA Sponsor Starter Kit. This was a guide that I created to just very much help VISTA supervisors when it comes to understanding all of the general information that's needed when it comes to managing a VISTA project. So I'm going to be reviewing all of these materials with you. There's 4 different documents. There's the beginner's guide. In the beginner's guide, it focuses on background information that's needed for VISTA, the rules and policies and regulations that are needed for VISTAs, and also, if you are an intermediary sponsor, things you can do to ensure that you have a strong sub-site relationship. There's also a guide here that I created for creating effective VISTA assignment descriptions and also opportunity listings. Then there's also a recruitment screening procedures guide that I have in place to just help you with the steps that one can follow when it comes to recruiting VISTA members. And then lastly, I have a huge document which is an on-site orientation facilitators guide, which provides a step-by-step process for what a VISTA sponsor might do if they're trying to plan an effective OSAT. So I'm going to be pulling up those things for you now as I'm sharing my desktop. So the first thing that we have is the AmeriCorps VISTA Sponsors Guide. Can everyone still see my screen? I don't want to keep moving if it's still lagging. All right, I'm going to assume that's a yes. So with that, we have our VISTA Sponsors Beginner's Guide. Here, this is a one-stop shop for covering a lot of the general information for VISTA. As we see here, it's broken down. There's background information. So if you want to understand the VISTA mission, here's the link right there, the video. There's the VISTA 101 Flash Course, Becoming Familiar with the National Service Structure, Supervisors Orientation Visual Aids, Following Your Memorandum of Understanding. So all of the background information that's needed for those things. Here are the links provided right here on the side. So that's one stop for you to go to for a supervisor so that you're looking for this. I know a lot of times we're sending out a lot of different links to all of the things that are available on VISTA Campus or the National Service website, but this just makes it very easy and comprehensive for you all to follow and to find. Then when it comes to rules, policies, and regulations, we have applying the member and supervisor rules and regulations. So here we have our terms, conditions, and benefits key points document that you can go to. There's a link to the supervisor VISTA manual. When it comes to following project reporting requirements, we have guidance here for creating a new eGrants account. So all the things that need to be done with handling eGrants. Here are links that provide resources and instructions for how to complete those things, all located right here for you. When it comes to understanding performance measures and also collecting data, we have all of those links provided for you as well. The Performance Measurement Core Curriculum, steps in the performance measurement, an overview of the performance measurements module, and some PDF instructions as well that deals with handling everything when it comes to performance measures. And then those who are intermediary sponsors, there's also resources here for training your sub-site supervisors. So there's an introduction training webinar that is here that you can review so that you can present training to your sub-sites. There's also the PDF version of those resources. There's training your sub-sites about VADs. Just a lot of great resources that helps the sponsor sub-site, the intermediary sponsor, disseminate information to the sub-site supervisors. So it's kind of a guide of all the things that you need to know to be successful, as it says up there. So that's the beginner's guide that I have for you. Next document I have is when it comes to creating AmeriCorps VISTA service opportunity listings. This is something that is pulled directly from our vistacampus.gov website. This is something that some of you may already have, but if you don't, we have it and can provide it to you. This just gives a step-by-step process for what you need to do for understanding what an opportunity is and how you can create that in eGrants. So as you see, it just goes step by step for what you need, going over the 2-line teaser, the program description, and then entering the service opportunity listing into My AmeriCorps through eGrants. So it just goes by the step-by-step process for that. Has nice screenshots and pictures for you all to follow. So just a great resource for you all when it comes to creating effective and strong opportunity listings and step-by-step instructions for doing that. The next document that I have to present to you is the next step. Once you create the opportunity listing, then you should start working on the VAD. This document is similar to that. It provides table of contents, which goes over some of the things that are in this document, instructions, which is the most important part. Again, providing screenshots to you all that give you step-by-step instructions for what you should complete, the steps you should follow for inserting and creating a new VAD onto eGrants. The last thing that's at the end of this document, which is extremely useful and I feel would be very helpful for all of our VISTA sponsors, is just a VAD template. So if you are trying to create a VAD and you're not sure of what to put in there or what the information means, if you double click on these resources that's embedded into this document, let's give it a second here to open up. And as it opens, it's just a template here, and I have everything kind of in a template form so that you can insert relevant information that relates to your own project. But it lets you know about the VAD and some of the things that the description should include. So just a nice little template for you all to use as well. So that's the resource I have for creating VADs. The next resource I have deals with the recruitment screening process. So this just goes over the steps and provides documents as well that are embedded into this document that you all can use when it comes to recruiting applicants for your project. Right here we have the first step, screening the applicant's AmeriCorps application. As you all know, when it comes to recruiting, all applicants and candidates must actually complete an application on the AmeriCorps portal. So once the application is submitted on the AmeriCorps portal, that's when it gives you all the opportunity as the VISTA supervisor and sponsor or VISTA leader to start reviewing this process. So here I have step-by-step guide for how you can do that. I have attachments with some documents here. So for example, right here I have a rubric that covers all the basic info that you're going to be seeing on the exact eGrant screens when you're trying to review their application. So it's going to have basic info, does the member meet these things, their motivational statement, looking over their skills, their education, their community service references. These are all the things and steps that they must complete on the application, and this is a nice rubric that you can use as a pre-screening evaluation for those members. Next, the next step you can do are not just requesting a cover letter or a resume. You want to ensure that we are properly vetting VISTA members so that we can ensure that they are going to be staying around for a full year of service. So that's the other great thing about this document, is that it ensures that we have processes in place that it accurately vets members so that we can ensure that they're going to be staying on with our project and that we're keeping them on. So here, just requesting the cover letter and resume, just so you can get some more information about the VISTA member. And then I even provided, I'm opening up this document, email templates that you can send out to your VISTA members. I provided some taglines here to where you can insert in your own project specific information, but it's templates here that you all can even send out already for recruiting your members. All you would have to do is just insert in your own project-specific information. Then after there, we have the applicant inviting them to a phone screening interview. Here I have the steps in the email templates that you can send for inviting the applicant to the phone screening interview. When you invite the member to the phone screening interview, a step that you can take is just sending them the VISTA Terms, Conditions, and Benefits document. This gives all the updated information when it comes to the VISTA Terms, Conditions, and Benefits, so that's provided here for you. And then the next step is just with how you can execute the phone screening and the evaluation. And then the next step also deals with if you're an intermediary sponsor versus you're a regular sponsor. I think it's best that all intermediary sponsors are communicating with the VISTA members that are under their project. I know some projects leave it up to their sub-sites alone, but you want to ensure that both the sponsor and the sub-site has some type of touch or contact with the VISTA member. So this provides instructions for the steps you can do to complete that. And then lastly, it just deals with e-grants and sending materials to the CNCS state office. Now, these steps may vary when it comes to sending information to the state office, when it comes to your program officer. I know for me, I will be wanting to follow these steps directly and to the T, but some program officers may do things differently. So with that, just ensure that you ask them how they want to proceed with completing these steps. But this gives steps for how you can contact the state office beforehand as well, just to let them know that you're recruiting a member and to provide information about who that member is. Then this step also gives a reminder that goes over the candidate speaking with the CNCS office interview. Again, this is if the program officer wants to speak with the VISTA applicant, and also just a reminder about the candidate accepting the VISTA position through their My AmeriCorps portal. And then lastly, it provides a step for completing the VMO enrollment form. There's the link right there so that you can just access that form to complete it. So this guide is nice because it's just an easy step-by-step guide that one can follow for completing some VISTA recruitment screening process. So that's a great resource that we have for you. And then lastly, I have for you all is our AmeriCorps VISTA on-site orientation and training and planning guide. So this is a huge document, but it's very cool because this is the perfect one-stop shop for all the things that are needed for conducting and facilitating an effective on-site orientation for members. So in this document, it provides an overview of what an OSOT is and why OSOT is important. And then really here, just going over the steps, it goes over focusing on preparing the materials that are needed for training, setting the agenda for the day, and finalizing logistics for the day. It focuses on planning the first team outing for VISTA members, if that's something you want to do. I always feel that this is nice when members first come to a VISTA site, that they do some type of activity with their sponsoring site that's fun and engaging so that they can better be acclimated and implemented into their community that they're going to be serving. And then lastly, the last step, just focusing on as a VISTA supervisor, ensuring that you're familiarizing yourself with the materials, that you're strengthening and developing standard operating procedures for reporting and time sheets, and just practicing going through the orientation and training agendas. So this document has a lot of things in it. So the materials that are included is a VISTA member project sponsor manual. Again, this is the project manual that you can create. It has been adapted from the VISTA member handbook. This document, all these documents are embedded into this document, and you can select them and choose them. There's also a sample statistics information guide if this is something that you want to provide to your VISTA members to let them know a little bit more information about the community that they're serving in. This provides a sample guide for what that can look like. It also has the terms, conditions, and benefits document. It has a document that goes over a process that a VISTA member must take if they would like to request an accommodation. It gives the specifics about the limitations on member duties, highlighting all of those things specifically. It also provides a sample service year calendar that you can provide to VISTA members. There's an OSAT checklist here that VISTA members can use to ensure that they're receiving all of the necessary information for their OSATs. There's outcomes for the members so that they can understand what they should be getting out of their VISTA service and OSAT year. There's a document that gives information about Professionalism 101. There's a document that provides information about capacity building versus direct service, and there's a document for reporting in-kind donations, and there's a document that has a photo release form. So I know that's a whole mouthful. I feel my mouth is getting dry from saying so much, talking about all those things. But this document literally has everything you have and need when it comes to onboarding the VISTA members when it comes to OSAT. So as you go through here, you'll also see that there are PowerPoint presentations that you can use during your OSAT that are provided. And then it just has the step-by-step guides for how you can use those materials and those PowerPoints to create an effective on-site orientation. And as I said before, all the documents that are needed for each step are embedded right in this document. All you would have to do is just double-click on them, and they will open up. I'm just going to double-click on this here. This is the customizable VISTA member project sponsor manual that you all can use. It's literally built out for you so that you can edit it yourselves. And it has a nice little table of contents. It gives the manual a disclaimer, but it also gives you all the opportunity to give your VISTA members a document that tells them about the project sponsor background. If there's host sites or sub-site partners, you can give them information about that. You can explain the roles of VISTA to them, reporting procedures. Again, all those standing operating procedures, this is the perfect document if you haven't created them to create them. And this is a way that you can ensure that VISTA members have this information at the beginning of their service so that they're aware of all the expectations and terms, conditions, and benefits that they must follow throughout the whole year. So all of these different things are included in the document for you all, and it's customizable for each specific project. All right. So going back into the presentation, that's what we have for you when it comes to our VISTA Sponsor Starter Kit. I know that's a lot of information, but hopefully you all are extremely excited for this tool because I feel it can really help to make everyone's life pretty much easier when it comes to managing the members in VISTA. So I'm very excited about this tool, and if you would like it, just request it from your program officer and we will send it to you. Then here, lastly, did you know the AmeriCorps State and National Competitive Funding, has just been announced for the 2019-2020 service year. I'm getting a bit tongue twisted here. The proposals are due November 16th, 2018. If you would like to hear more information about this competitive funding for AmeriCorps state and national programs, there are technical assistant conference calls that are going to be held on October 18th at 10 a.m. for continuation applicants and at 2 p.m. for new applicants or those applicants who are going to be recompeting. To register for a call, just click here at the link. Again, we're going to be sending a PDF of this PowerPoint presentation along with all the links that are included in it to you after this call. So if you're interested in that, definitely ensure that you are engaging into that resource because it is available. And then before we go, if you all have the opportunity right now, please follow us on social media. We really want to ensure that we're growing our presence and promoting our social media pages here at the Florida State Office. One, to promote the good work that all of our projects are doing, but as well to promote, all of the opportunity listings that are going on in the state, to let people know about national service in general that's going on in the state, and just a way of just ensuring that we are promoting you all as your projects. One of the biggest things that's always been told and pushed to me here already is, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. I feel the same way when it comes to social media and the impact of the work. Granted, while we know it, just because it's not taking a picture and no one knows about it doesn't mean that it doesn't have impact. But when it comes to VISTA and the projects that we're doing, I want us to have the mentality that if we didn't take a picture about it, if we didn't tweet or put it on Facebook, it didn't happen. So I definitely want to ensure that we're holding up that mentality and that we're definitely promoting our social media pages and the good work that we're doing here in Florida. All right, so now I'm going to open it up for any questions, comments, or concerns that you all have. And I know that this is a long meeting, a lot of useful and nice information. Any questions, comments, concerns?
While we're waiting for folks to answer or ask some questions or make some comments, I have been posting some of the links that we've discussed during this call in the chat box. Our Facebook link or link to our Facebook is in the chat box, so everyone can actually go directly to it and like our page. We really want to be able to retweet, repost, or share the things that you're doing with your organization as well. And the other thing I want to say about these monthly calls, guys, is that these calls are as much for you as they are for us. So let us know what you want to know, the tips and tricks that you need, the compliance, technical assistance resources that you need. We are here for you. Our relationship is interdependent, and we want to make good use of your time. So we definitely welcome feedback. Are looking to learn more about what you want to hear. We want to learn more even about the timing of the call because we want participation. So whatever you have in terms of what you'd like to know and what you'd like to hear, please reach out to your program officer, reach out to me, reach out to us, and let us know so that we can put together some quality calls for you all.
All right. And if there are no further questions or concerns, this is all that I have for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and I hope you have a great week.